My son, are you ready for what I have in store for you today? Don't miss this opportunity. I need you to stop for a moment. Not because the world stopped, it didn't. The noise is still there, the pressure is still there, the weight you've been carrying is still sitting on your shoulders. But I brought you here, to this exact moment, because there is something I need to say to you that cannot wait any longer. This is not coincidence. This is not random. You didn't stumble into this moment, I led you here. I have been leading you here for longer than you realize, through the quiet mornings when you woke up with a heaviness you couldn't explain, through the nights when sleep wouldn't come and your mind kept running in circles, through every prayer that felt like it disappeared into silence. I was there. I am here. And right now, I am speaking directly to you. There is something I have been preparing that you haven't been able to see yet. Not because I was hiding it from you, but because you are not yet ready to receive it in its fullness. I know that is hard to hear. I know you feel like you have been waiting long enough. I know you have wondered, more times than you want to admit, whether I had forgotten about you, whether your prayers were reaching me, whether the life you imagined was ever going to become real. I have heard every single one of those thoughts. I have felt every wave of doubt that moved through your heart. And still, I love you with a love that has no condition, no expiration, and no limit. My son, I need you to understand something foundational before we go any further in this conversation. What I am about to open in your life is not small. It is not a minor adjustment. It is not a little comfort or a temporary relief. What I have prepared for you is something that will shift the entire direction of your story. But you have to be ready to receive it, not just emotionally, not just spiritually, but in the depth of your trust in me. Because what I am about to do will require you to let go of the version of the plan you created in your own mind, and step into the plan I designed before you were ever born. You have been holding on to a timeline that I never gave you. You set a date in your heart, by this age, by this year, by this season, and when that date passed without what you expected, something inside you began to shrink. A part of your faith grew quieter. A part of your hope grew tired. You started telling yourself a story about why it hadn't happened yet, and most of those stories weren't true. They were fear talking. They were exhaustion talking. They were the voice of a world that measures everything by speed and efficiency, whispering to you that if it hasn't happened yet, it probably won't. But I am not the world. My ways are not the world's ways. My timing is not a calendar on a wall, it is a living, breathing, perfect orchestration of every detail of your life, moving towards something so specific, so tailored to who you are, that if you saw it right now, you would fall to your knees in awe and wonder. So I need you to lean in right now. I need you to quiet the part of your mind that is already composing objections, already listing reasons why this doesn't apply to you, already protecting itself from hope because hope has hurt before. I see that part of you. I understand it. And I am not asking you to pretend it doesn't exist. I am asking you to let me speak louder than it, just for this moment. Can you do that for me? Can you give me your full attention, right now, in this place, in this moment? Because what I am about to tell you is going to change the way you see everything, the waiting, the silence, the pain, the delays, the closed doors, the unanswered prayers, all of it is going to look completely different by the time I am done speaking to your heart today. You are my son. Not in a distant, theological, abstract way. You are mine in the most personal, intimate, real sense of that word. I know your name. I know your voice. I know what makes you laugh and what breaks you apart. I know the dream you buried because it seemed too big, and I know the wound you never told anyone about because you didn't think anyone would understand. I understand. I have always understood. And I chose you, not because you are perfect, not because you have it all together, not because your faith has never wavered. I chose you because you are mine, and my love for you is not based on your performance. It is based on who I am. And who I am is a father who never abandons his children, who never runs out of grace, and who always, always finishes what he starts. And he started something in you a long time ago that is far from finished. My son, are you ready? Because today, something is shifting. Today, I am pulling back the curtain on what has been happening behind the scenes of your life. Today, you are going to understand things that have confused you for months, maybe for years. Today, the silence is going to start making sense. Today, the waiting is going to start making sense. And today, the hope that has been flickering inside you, that quiet, persistent, stubborn little flame that you couldn't quite extinguish no matter how hard life tried, that flame is about to become a fire. Don't miss this. Don't close your heart now. Don't let the weight of everything you've been through talk you out of receiving what I am bringing to you. Stay with me. I have so much to say. I saw you when you thought no one was watching. I saw you on that night, you know the one I'm talking about. The night when everything felt like it was falling apart at the same time, when you sat in the quiet and the tears came and you didn't even fully understand why. You weren't just sad about one thing. You were sad about all of it, the accumulated weight of months of trying and hoping and pushing forward, and feeling like the ground beneath you kept shifting. I saw you in that moment. I wasn't somewhere far away, observing from a distance, unmoved. I was right there. My presence filled that room, filled that moment, and my heart moved with yours. I am a father, and when my child is in pain, I feel it. Don't ever let anyone tell you that I am indifferent to your suffering. Don't ever believe the voice that says I am watching your struggle from behind glass, emotionally detached, waiting for you to figure it out on your own. That is not who I am. That has never been who I am. I saw the prayers you prayed when you were too tired to use the right words. The prayers that were more like sighs than sentences. The moments when all you could do was whisper my name and hope that was enough. It was enough. It has always been enough. I don't need eloquence from you. I don't need a perfectly structured prayer with the right theological language. I need your heart, and you gave me your heart, even when it was broken, even when it was confused, even when it was doubting. Every single time you turned toward me, even weakly, even imperfectly, even in anger, I received it as worship. Because turning toward me at all, when everything in your flesh wanted to turn away, was an act of profound faith. Do you understand how much I honor that? I saw the silence you kept. The things you didn't say to anyone because you didn't want to burden them, or because you were afraid of being misunderstood, or because putting it into words made it feel more real and more painful. You carried things in silence that you were never meant to carry alone. And I watched you carry them, not because I was absent, but because I was with you in the carrying, strengthening you in ways you didn't always recognize. That quiet strength you had on days when you had every reason to collapse, that was me. That steadiness that surprised even you, that was my hand, holding you upright when your own legs were giving out. You thought you were just surviving. I was sustaining you. There is a difference, and it is important that you know it. I saw the moments when you compared yourself to others and felt like you were falling behind. I saw the sting of it, watching people around you seem to move forward, seem to receive breakthroughs, seem to find the things you have been asking for, while your situation appeared to remain unchanged. I saw how hard you tried not to be bitter about it. I saw you fight that feeling and choose gratitude even when it cost you something emotionally. I saw the conversations you had with yourself, talking yourself back from the edge of resentment, choosing to celebrate others even when celebrating felt like it was taking something from you. That is not weakness. That is character. That is the kind of person I have been shaping you to become, someone who can carry grace under pressure, someone who can hold joy for others while still honestly processing their own pain. That kind of integrity of heart is rare. And I have seen it in you. I saw the moments your faith wavered. I am not bringing this up to shame you, I am bringing it up to let you know that I saw those moments and I never left. There were times when the doubt was loud. Times when the questions were louder than the answers. Times when you read the promises I made and struggled to connect them to the reality you were living. I know. I was there for all of it. And in every single one of those moments, my love for you did not flinch. My commitment to you did not shrink. My plan for you did not change. Faith that never wavers is not faith, it is certainty. I don't need you to have certainty. I need you to keep coming back to me, even from the place of doubt, even with the questions still in your hands. And you did. Every time. You came back. And every time you came back, I was already there, waiting, ready, full of grace and full of purpose for your life. My son, I saw everything. Every tear. Every sleepless night. Every moment of courage that nobody clapped for. Every sacrifice that went unnoticed by the people around you. Every time you chose integrity when dishonesty would have been easier. Every time you chose faith when giving up would have been more comfortable. I saw all of it, and I have been keeping account, not in the way a judge keeps account, but in the way a loving father keeps account, storing up a testimony that is going to emerge from your life so powerfully that people will not be able to explain it without talking about me. Your story is being written. And what I have seen you walk through is not the end of the story. It is the foundation of it. I know you have been trying to make sense of this season. You have been turning it over in your mind, looking at it from every angle, trying to find the explanation that makes it all make sense. You have prayed, you have waited, you have sought counsel, you have read, you have done everything you know to do, and still the situation hasn't shifted in the way you expected. And so the question that keeps surfacing is the one you don't always want to ask out loud. Why? Why is this taking so long? Why is this so hard? Why does it feel like everyone else is moving and I'm standing still? I want to answer that question today. Not with vague spiritual language that sounds comforting but doesn't actually land. I want to answer it with truth, because you are ready to hear truth, and because truth is the only thing that will actually set you free. What you are in right now is not punishment. I need you to receive that clearly, because there is a voice that has been whispering the opposite. A voice that has been suggesting that this difficulty is evidence of my displeasure, that the delays are a sign that you have done something wrong, that if I were truly with you, things would look different by now. That voice is a liar. That voice does not know my heart, and it does not know your story. What you are experiencing is not the consequence of failure. It is the context of preparation. There is an enormous difference between those two things, and understanding that difference is going to change the way you walk through every remaining day of this season. Preparation looks like waiting. Preparation looks like uncertainty. Preparation looks like a process that doesn't have clear markers or visible progress, where you feel like you are doing all the right things and not seeing the results you expected. Preparation looks a lot like being stuck, but it is not being stuck. It is being built. There are things being formed in you right now that cannot be formed any other way. Patience that could only be developed through sustained waiting. Trust that could only be deepened through sustained uncertainty. Character that could only be refined through sustained pressure. I am not in the business of sending people into significant assignments without first preparing them for the weight of what they are about to carry. And what I am sending you into is significant. I need you to be able to carry it without being crushed by it. So I am building your capacity, not by making things easy, but by walking with you through things that are hard. Think about the nature of everything I create. I do not rush. I do not take shortcuts. The most beautiful things in my creation took the longest to form. The mountains were not raised in an afternoon. The river did not carve the canyon overnight. The tree that provides shade for generations spent years underground before it ever broke the surface of the earth. What looks like slowness from the outside is always precision from my perspective. I am not slow. I am exact. And every day of this season that has felt like delay has been a day of exact, purposeful, intentional work in your life, work that is happening in dimensions you cannot yet see, in spiritual realities that are more real than what your eyes can observe. There are things I have been dealing with on your behalf that you are not even aware of. Spiritual obstacles that needed to be cleared. Old patterns in your thinking and your heart that needed to be dismantled before the new thing could stand on solid ground. Relationships and connections that needed to be properly positioned before I brought them into your life. Provisions that needed to be fully assembled before I opened the door for you to step through. I don't open doors for you before what's behind them is ready, because I love you too much to let you walk into something prematurely. Everything I do at the right time. And the right time is closer than it has ever been. I also want you to understand this. The very areas of your life where you feel the most unresolved are often the areas where the most significant breakthrough is coming. That is not a coincidence. The enemy does not waste his energy attacking things that don't matter. He attacks what threatens him. he resists what I am building because he knows that what I am building in you has the capacity to shift things, in your family, in your community, in your generation. The weight of this season is not incidental. It is proportional to the weight of what is coming. And what is coming is worth every hard day you have walked through to get here. My son, hear me now, the turning point is here. Not tomorrow. Not in another year of waiting and wondering. Right now, in this moment, something is shifting in the spiritual atmosphere over your life. I am declaring it. I am the one who holds time in his hands, who speaks and things come into existence, who calls things that are not as though they already are, and I am speaking over you right now. The chapter of prolonged waiting, of unanswered silence, of feeling like you are on the outside looking in while life happens around you, that chapter is closing. A new chapter is beginning. And I need you to receive this not as a nice sentiment, not as something that might be true if everything goes right, but as a word from your Father who has never once spoken a word over your life that did not come to pass. What I am releasing into your life in this season is restoration. Not just getting back what was lost, but receiving it in a form that is better than the original. I restore what the years have consumed, but I don't restore it at the same level. I restore it with increase, with depth, with meaning that wasn't there before, because you are not the same person you were when the loss happened. You have been through something. You have grown through something. And what I bring back into your life now will find a you who is ready to steward it in a way that the former version of you was not yet capable of. The waiting was not wasted. The waiting was preparation for receiving. I am opening doors for you that no man can close. Doors that have been shut for seasons that felt endless. Doors that you knocked on and heard nothing. Doors that you stood before and felt nothing shift. I am opening those doors. Not cracking them, not leaving them slightly ajar for you to try to wedge yourself through. Opening them fully. Swinging them wide. Walking you through them myself. Because I don't just show you the door, I walk through it with you. I am not a God who points you in a direction and stands back to see what you do with it. I am a God who walks ahead of you, who prepares the path, who levels the mountains before you arrive at them, who makes sure that when you step forward in faith, the ground is solid beneath your feet. There are people I am connecting you with in this new season. Specific people, divinely placed, carrying exactly what you need and needing exactly what you carry. These are not coincidental relationships. They are covenantal connections, people I have been positioning in your life at exactly the right moment, people who are going to see you in a way that you have longed to be seen, who are going to believe in what I have placed in you, who are going to come alongside you and run with you in the direction I am sending you. You have felt alone in this for too long. That season of isolation is ending. Community is coming. Partnership is coming. People who get it, who get you, are coming. And I want to speak to the thing you have been afraid to hope for. The specific thing you barely let yourself think about anymore because hoping for it has hurt too many times. I know what it is. I know how carefully you have learned to keep your heart at a distance from it, how you have trained yourself not to want it too loudly because the silence of it not happening yet has been too painful. I am speaking directly to that thing. I have not forgotten it. It has not fallen through the cracks of my attention. It has been in my hands this entire time, being carefully prepared, being brought to fullness at the exact pace it needed. And what I am bringing to you in this area is going to exceed what you originally imagined, because what I do always exceeds imagination. I am able to do far more than you have ever asked or thought. Not slightly more. Exceedingly, abundantly more. My son, this is not the end of your story. This is the moment the story turns. This is the page where the reader's breath catches because everything is about to change. You have been faithful in the waiting, now watch me be faithful in the delivering. You held on when everything told you to let go, now watch what you were holding on to come alive in your hands. You believed when belief was hard, now watch belief become sight. The dream is not dead. The promise is not canceled. The call on your life is not revoked. I do not revoke what I declare. I do not cancel what I covenant. I finish what I start, and I started something in you that is only just beginning to fully emerge. Walk forward. Walk with expectation. Walk with your head lifted and your heart open, Because your Father is moving on your behalf in ways you cannot yet see but are about to experience. The silence is breaking. The doors are opening. The time of your breakthrough has arrived. And when it comes, when you see it, when you hold it, when you live it, remember this moment. Remember that I spoke to you. Remember that I told you. And when your testimony rises, let it point to me, because I am the one who never gave up on you, not even for a single moment, not even in the darkest part of the night. Receive this word. Receive this promise. Receive this declaration over your life. And if you believe it, if something in your spirit is saying yes to what you have heard today, write it in the comments. Amen. Your Father has spoken. And His word does not return empty.